Have you ever been in a situation where you know exactly what you want to say in English? The words are like right there on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't? Your mouth just won't open?
Oh, absolutely. That frozen feeling, it's the worst. It's like your brain just short circuits.
Exactly. It's like stage fright, but for like a regular conversation. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. Welcome everyone to the English Nest podcast. I'm Leo.
And I'm Anna, and today we're getting vulnerable. We're talking about a topic I think every single language learner has experienced, the day I was afraid to speak English.
Mm-hmm. And we're not just talking about, general shyness. We're talking about that specific heart-pounding fear that can grip you in a moment when you need to speak. So we're going to share some personal stories today.
Yeah, get ready for some embarrassing moments. But more importantly, we're going to talk about why it happens and, of course, how to push past it, because you can. So, Leo, you want to go first? Take us back?
Okay, all right. So picture this. I was maybe 20, 21. I was studying abroad in the US for the first time. My English was, pretty good in the classroom.
Right, textbook English.
Textbook English, exactly. I could write an essay, no problem. But I went to this big social mixer event for all the international students, and it was loud. Music playing, dozens of people talking, all native speakers just effortlessly chatting.
Oh, I can feel the anxiety already.
Yeah, and this group of American students, super friendly. They came over to me and a few others, and they start asking questions. Where are you from? What are you studying? Standard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain just went blank, completely empty. I could understand everything they were saying, but the process of like forming a sentence in my own head and then actually saying it out loud, it felt like climbing a mountain. Yeah. I remember I sort of nodded and smiled. And one of them asked me a direct question, and I think I just mumbled something like, "Yes is good." And then I just turned around, went to the drinks table, and stood there for like 10 minutes, pretending to be fascinated by the different kinds of soda.
Oh no, Leo, the classic escape to the snack table move. We've all been there.
It was awful. I felt so stupid. Like all those years of studying, and I couldn't even say my own name and major. I was so embarrassed and just afraid. Afraid of making a mistake, of them thinking my accent was weird, of them, I don't know, judging me.
That is so relatable. It's that fear of judgment, right? The spotlight effect where you feel like everyone is watching and listening to your every mistake.
Totally. What about you, Anna? I know you have one.
Oh, of course. Mine was less of a party and more of a high stakes professional situation. I was working for this multinational company, and my English was okay, but I was still very much a learner.
Okay, high stakes.
Yeah, and I had to join a conference call with the entire North American leadership team. We're talking vice presidents, directors, everyone.
Oh, wow. No pressure.
None at all. And I had prepared my update for days. I wrote it down, I practiced it, but you know how conference calls are. The conversation moves so fast. People interrupt each other, they use all this corporate jargon and idioms.
Right, it's a whole other language.
Exactly. And I couldn't find a moment to jump in. Every time I thought about unmuting my mic, my heart would start racing. I was thinking, what if I pronounce this word wrong? What if they ask me a question I didn't prepare for? What if they think I'm not smart enough for this job?
All those what ifs.
So I didn't speak the entire hour-long call. I just sat there in silence. My boss messaged me after, "Everything okay? We didn't hear from you." I just made up some excuse about my microphone not working. I felt like such a coward.
The fake technical difficulties, a classic for a reason. But that's a perfect example of how perfectionism can be paralyzing. You felt like if you couldn't say it perfectly, it was better to say nothing at all.
Totally. It's this internal pressure we put on ourselves. And I think that's the core of it, really. The fear isn't about the language, it's about what we think the language says about us, our intelligence, our competence.
And speaking of other people's stories, we're not the only ones who have gone through this. We actually have a special guest with us today who has a really powerful story about this very topic. Everyone, please welcome Maria. That's such a good point. You're not just speaking, you're representing yourself. And it feels like the stakes are incredibly high. So, okay, we've established this feeling is real, it's common, and it's terrible.
Right. So, what do we do about it? How do we get from being the person hiding by the soda table to someone who can, actually have a conversation?
Okay, so I think the first thing, and this sounds so simple, is to start small, like ridiculously small. Don't aim for a deep philosophical debate at a party, aim for ordering a coffee.
Yes, low stakes interactions. Buying a train ticket, asking where the bathroom is. These are interactions with a clear script and a clear end. You succeed, you get your coffee, you feel a tiny bit of success.
Exactly. You're building evidence for your brain that you can do it. Each small win lowers that fear barrier just a little bit. My next tip would be to find a safe space to fail.
Ooh, I like that. A safe space to fail.
Yeah, like a language exchange partner or a tutor, or even just a friend who is also learning. Someone you can talk to where the entire point is to practice and make mistakes. When you take the pressure of perfection off the table, it's so much easier to just talk.
That's huge, and it leads to my favorite piece of advice. Change your goal. The goal is not to speak perfect English. The goal is to communicate.
Yes, communication over perfection.
Exactly. Did the other person understand you? Yes? Then you succeeded. Who cares if you used the wrong preposition or mixed up a tense? They understood. That's a win. Most native speakers, they really don't care about your grammar mistakes. They're just impressed that you're speaking their language.
100%. People are generally much nicer and more patient than our anxious brains tell us they are. Which brings me to a little magic phrase I learned.
Ooh, a magic phrase?
It's so simple. It's just, sorry, I'm still learning English, or English isn't my first language. Saying that up front does two things. First, it tells the other person to be a little patient. Second, it gives you permission to not be perfect. It's like a weight off your shoulder.
That is such a good tool. It reframes the whole interaction. You're not pretending to be a fluent speaker, you're openly a learner. And that's a powerful position to be in.
It really is. And just remember that the feeling does go away. It really does. The more you put yourself out there, even in those tiny, scary ways, the smaller the fear gets. That guy who hid at the drinks table, I mean, he's hosting a podcast in English now.
Look at you now, and the woman who pretended her mic was broken now leads those calls sometimes. It's all about collecting those little wins, being kind to yourself, and remembering that every single fluent speaker you admire was once a terrified beginner too.
So true. All right, I think that's a good place to start wrapping up. Let's do a quick recap of the main takeaways.
Okay, number one, this fear is totally normal. You are not alone.
Number two, start small. Aim for tiny, low stakes interactions to build your confidence.
Number three, change your goal from perfection to communication. If they understood you, you succeeded.
And number four, give yourself permission to be a learner. Use that magic phrase, I'm still learning English. Be kind to yourself through the process.
Perfect. And for all of you listening, we would love to hear your stories. Have you had a day where you were afraid to speak English? What happened? Share it with us on our social media. You can find us at English Nest Podcast.
Yeah, let's build a community around this. Sharing the stories really helps you see how not alone you are. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the English Nest podcast.
Join us next time where we'll be talking about phrasal verbs that you can actually use in everyday conversation without sounding like a textbook.
Ooh, that's a good one. Until then, keep learning, keep practicing, and don't be afraid to speak. Bye, everyone.
Bye.